Hey guys, it's Will. It's Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, thank you for finding me. All the usual YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, comment, please. Thank you. I love this community. It's been so great. Come get involved. Come join the fun. What are we here to talk about today? Upcoming releases of Hong Kong movies. And not just Hong Kong movies, but like some of these are all-time classic Hong Kong movies coming out on Blu-ray, high definition. I'm super excited to tell you about them all. They are all coming from Spectrum Films. This is perhaps a company you've never heard of before. Spectrum Films is out of France. I will be doing my first ever Blu-ray label spotlight video on Spectrum Films. I'm going to be doing that hopefully within the next couple weeks. And I'm going to talk a lot about the stuff they've released, how they're a really unique label. They release a lot of stuff no one else is releasing on new scans from film sources. Really great material. They have bonus features on there. These releases are, I have to tell you before getting into this, they are Cantonese audio French subtitles. In my spotlight video, I don't speak French and I don't speak Cantonese, right? You know if you watch this channel. I'm going to talk about how I'm able to watch these films, and I'm going to encourage you to do the same thing because they are worth it. I have seen 2 or 3 releases now from Spectrum Films, and they are like, these are movies that I had seen on really low quality releases before. It is astounding the work that they're doing with these films. And I think because they're a French company and they're French language releases, it's really prohibiting their audience. And a lot of people don't even know that they're out there, right? So you have to check them out. I'm going to tell you about these releases right now. They've already released stuff like The Longest Night, which is co-directed by Johnny To, which is a great film. They released the story of Wu Viet, which is a An Hui film that Chow Yun-fat is in. It's from, I think, 1979, so it's an early movie for Chow Yun-fat. They've released Angel Terminators 2, I think, maybe just the first one. And Devil Hunters, which is a Moon Lee film, which I really love. Michael Chan is in that movie. That's a great movie. And a lot of movies that I think a lot of other labels are just not releasing. And I get a lot of comments from people saying, when are we going to get a real HD great releases of Girls with Guns films, or like these lesser known heroic bloodshed films? Full Alert, the Ringo Lam film, is another one they've released. They're already out there, is my answer to you. They're coming from Spectrum Films, and you got to look out for them. So, it's 4 movies that are coming up from Spectrum Films, classic Hong Kong cinema. The one I'm really, really, really excited about that I'm going to tell you about right now, Wild Search. I've previously done like a 20-minute long video talking about why I love this movie so much. It is a Ringo Lam film. It stars Chow Yun-fat, it stars Cherry Chung, and a bunch of others that you'll recognize from the era. It's a classic kind of like heroic bloodshed film, kind of an unofficial remake of Witness, a lot of people will tell you, the Harrison Ford film. It does bear a lot of similarities to that movie, although it has some really major differences too, which I talk about in my video. This is coming out in June, so let me tell you the exact release date here. This will drop on June 24th of 2021. It's going to be, like I said, French subtitles, Canto audio. Another thing this company does that's great is they do combo releases, DVD and Blu-ray. So you get both with the release. This came out in 1989 originally. It's 138 or an hour and 38 minutes long. Excuse me. It's going to have a presentation of the film by Arnaud Lanuquet. I don't speak French. I'm sorry. I know that's a horrible pronunciation. And I love French. I think it's like one of the most beautiful languages in the world, but I don't speak it. There's an interview with Roy Chung on here at Home in Hong Kong. So Roy Chung is in the movie too, obviously. And so there you go. And so I'm really, really excited about that. I love that film. There's more. I think there's going to be more bonus features on there that have not been announced yet. I corresponded with the label because I told them I was going to be doing this spotlight video and asked them if there was, kind of any information that would be pertinent for me to include. So they told me there's like more stuff coming on these releases. So next up, this is a movie I've been looking for a good copy of for years. And it's kind of like a cult classic. And you also have to understand that my perspective is always the perspective of an American, right? I grew up in the United States, and I'm looking at these films from the American perspective. I don't know what the Hong Kong perspective is really unless people tell me. So I can't tell you, is this a classic movie in Hong Kong? Is it not? I'm really talking about like the English-speaking fan community. US and UK, I talk a lot to people in the UK. I know a lot about the UK fan community. I'm actually a British citizen. You might not know that about me. Fun fact. My mom is from England. I have a British passport, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, but I grew up in the US, obviously. You could tell by my accent, right? My dad is American. And so I'm going to tell you about this next movie that's coming out, which I think I don't know what its Hong Kong reputation is, but kind of like a cult classic with Western viewers. It's called People's Hero. It stars both T. Lung and Tony Leung. And this is very early in Tony Leung's career. He's very young in this movie. This came out in 1987. I guess it's not very, very early, but it is like a relatively early role for him. It's an hour and 23 minutes long. Again, this is DVD Blu-ray combos, directed by Derek Yee, who's very obviously very famous within the Hong Kong film scene. It includes a trailer, other cool stuff in progress, it says, which I'm excited about. Presentation of the film again by Arnaud Lon. I'm not even going to try to say it because I'm going to butcher his name. I'm really sorry. I just don't speak French. And this is also a heroic bloodshed film. So if you're a fan of that genre, you definitely want to check this film out. And this drops on June 28th of 2021. Then we have Man on the Brink. So I have not seen this film. But this film came out recently on Blu-ray in Hong Kong, and a lot of people started sending me DMs being like, you gotta see this movie. Like, it's a really, really good movie. It's like one of those proto-heroic bloodshed films, like one of those, like pre kind of A Better Tomorrow. You know, you have these films like Law with Two Phases, you have Long Arm of the Law, you have Hired Guns, actually, which is right behind me somewhere. You have a lot of these movies that led to the heroic bloodshed genre, and this is one of those. I think this came out in 1981. Yeah, and I'm just looking for the release year on here. But yeah, so this drops on June 28th, 2021 as well, and it was directed by Alex Chung. Released in 1981. It's an hour and 41 minutes long. It has a presentation of the film. It has an interview with Alex Chung. It's got 8mm rushes from the set. That's really cool. Trailer and various other things. And so this and Cops and Robbers, I believe, are the same director, and they've become, like, within the past couple of years, really highly regarded as kind of these proto-heroic bloodshed films because, like I said, they preceded that trend in cinema by a few years, but are very similar to it. And then we have My Heart Is That Eternal Rose, which is a very well-known and classic film for a lot of people who love these genre films from Hong Kong in the 1980s. It's got a great cast. It came out in 1989. It's an hour and 31 minutes long. It's directed by Patrick Tam. He was a famous filmmaker. It has a presentation again on it. It has a meeting with Patrick Tam, a video essay, a trailer, and other things that are in progress. And this is coming out June 28th, 2021. This is another one I've been looking for a really good quality version of for a while. I have like a pretty low quality version that might be a VCD. It might be like an early generation DVD that was ripped. Someone sent it to me, so I don't even have the physical release of it. But I'm really, really excited about this movie coming out and being able to revisit that. I'll be doing reviews of these. Like I said, Spectrum Films, I will put a link to the website for the company. And if I know some people who buy their releases regularly in the US, and the release plus shipping is not expensive. Like one guy told me that he was able to get a couple of the movies for $25 each, including shipping. So it's not super expensive. So check them out. Check maybe with Diabolic or like what other distributors you like to see if they're carrying their films. Spectrum Films, link in the description. Hong Kong Cinema Appreciation Society is the name of this channel. My name is Will. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.